Shut up and sit down.
Hello. Don't mind me, I'm just eating Sour Punch bites. Okay. Good
Sour
evening.
Patch Kids. I have a bag of Sour Patch open as well.
Do you really?
Hold on. Un memento.
These are the best. Like, if you like sour stuff, people, the Sour Punch bites are elite. I'm just going to say this. This is not a candy podcast, but it could be.
The lemonade ones are my favorite.
Oh, yeah. They're like Sour Patches or Sour Punch straws, but big. And these are 10 out of 10. The best. Anyway, this is the Merry Mix. It was in my stocking. I know. Okay. Well, hello, everyone. I know that's not what you obviously signed up for, but we could be a candy podcast. I wouldn't mind that. I have a sweet tooth, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Anywho, hello, and welcome to Pardon Me, Alex at 6:07 p.m. on a beautiful Friday in East Texas. We were just talking about how we were pissed off that we had to turn off our furnaces and put our ACs back on.
January 2nd, crank the AC back up.
Disrespectful. Actually, I've been out and about most of the day, so I haven't even been home. But I came home and the front door was open and some of the windows were open. So it's possible we didn't have the AC on at all. It's possible. I don't know. Haven't been home. But here we are. Yeah, so it's been a busy few weeks for us. We last talked to you guys right after what was that? Was that the game right before Christmas? I'm trying to remember when the last episode was. It feels like it's been weeks, but it's only been
because I wore my tacky Christmas sweater.
Yes. Okay. So it feels like it's been a month, but it's only been like a week.
Yeah.
But anyway, so as you can see from the title of this episode, new year, same goal, getting dubs. And that's what we've been doing. We've been catching lots of W's lately, and we're not mad about it. We're very, very, very pleased. But anyway, so Jacqueline and I have been lucky enough to go to a couple of the Wave games that have been occurring during break. Two of them, which we're going to be talking about tonight. The 12-29 Texas A&M Commerce game, which was on Monday of this week. And then the New Year's Eve basketball in Natchitoches, which was obviously Wednesday. So got a lot to talk about. Jacqueline and I had great times at both games, but in different ways. So, yeah, let's get into it. I hope everybody had a great New Year's, by the way. Hope everybody had fun and was safe and had a great time. We went to basketball and then rushed and came back to Nacogdoches and went to our annual Fredonia Brewery staff and family and friends and et cetera, party at the brewery. So, I mean, we had a great little time, but anyway, we did. But yeah, so here we are. We're back. We're ready to go talk about some basketball.
Right back into it. Monday, December 29th, Alex, Jax, and Laura, we made the trip. It was great.
Nice and cold.
One of the few times that I was the one with the shorter drive. So I was happy for that. So Laura and Alex came to Tyler, and then I ventured on, drove us the rest of the way to Commerce. Even though they like to call themselves East Texas A&M, we will continue to stick with Texas A&M Commerce.
It's in Commerce, and it's Texas A&M school.
Yeah.
I guess they figured since when we joined the UT system that we didn't have to change our name. I guess they were like, well, to you to A&M, we're going to go back to East Texas A&M. And for the 1,000th time, they're not East Texas. I will continue to die on this hill.
Never been in East Texas.
No, it's flat.
So yeah, the three of us made a trip. We did have a good, and we were there for the doubleheader. The ladies and the guys. Cat meowing in the background. Sorry about that. Can y'all hear that?
Now I hear it. Yeah.
What are we doing in there? Anyway, good bit of SFA fans since some of the Dallas people were far away. So we had our buddy Matt Postins was there. The Mazzies were there. Still not quite sure who the guy was or what his name was, but someone who was there was FaceTiming with Day Day and asked if we knew him, and we're like, duh. So we both got to FaceTime with Day Day for a minute. So that was
Laura said that he said he was Day Day's brother, like younger brother.
I don't remember that, but you know.
I mean, I know, but you weren't there whenever he said.
No, I'm saying like if he is his younger brother, I don't ever remember meeting him as Day Day's younger brother. But
I don't either, but who knows? Also, Matt Atkins and his kids were there too.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
But yeah, so got to FaceTime with him for a second. He is currently in Barcelona, which is one of my favorite cities, so that was cool. Said he likes it. So yay to Day Day.
Shout out Day Day.
All right, general history background info. We have 20 wins and 11 losses going into this game in our previous matchup against Texas A&M Commerce. The last matchup we had won 76-74 in Commerce in February. Largest margin of victory was 86-46 in 1985, before Alex and I were both born. Smallest margin of victory, 67-74 in February of 25. 76-74 in February of 25, which was the last matchup. Also, just some more random general history background info that I forgot to put into the notes. But before we went to this game, my dad asked me if I had been to Commerce before, and I was like, not to see SFA play. If I have been, it was with him, and I don't remember. It's been a long time. And he was like, well, they have an interesting Coliseum, kind of similar to Natchitoches, looks like an airplane hangar on the inside. He did not lie. However, I think the consensus amongst all of us, me, you, Laura, and my dad, is that theirs is kind of set up better than Natchitoches.
I agree.
However, Natchitoches has the actual real stadium seats, and Commerce just has pull-out bleachers. So,
if we could but listen, okay, those seats in Natchitoches, give me a break.
We'll get there.
Y'all just buckle in. I have so many grievances for that Natchitoches game, and none of it has to do with basketball.
Yeah. Per use for games.
Okay.
And
yeah. I don't usually get hyped up about stuff because I'm trying to let go, let God, don't let it bother me. But this really burned my biscuits. Anyway, continue.
Really, really did burn those biscuits.
Yeah.
All right. General notes. Same starting five we've had: Keon, CC, Cam, Gerald, Latif. We did win 75-48. The attendance was 448. Sean Kennedy, that section, field goal percentage of 41.3, 3-point 37.9%, free throw 70.6, perhaps one of the highest we've had. Points in the paint 20, points off turnovers 12, second chance points 15, fast break points 6, bench points 26. The score was tied 5 times and the lead changed 10 times. However, that did not last very long past halftime. Mm-hmm. Total rebounds 45. We had 15 offensive and 30 defensive boards. We had 13 fouls, 9 turnovers. They had 14 turnovers. We had 9 steals. I think the first game this season that we've had 0 blocks, but
Shock.
had to happen some game. Leading the way with points, we had Teef with 17 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Keon with 15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Narit with 12 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. We had Cece with 9 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, and Gerald with 10 rebounds, 2 points, 2 assists, 2 steals.
Okay, so a lot of people to choose from in terms of player of the game. I mean, obviously there's 5 guys that played really well. I know who Jax is going with, but I'm going to go with my boy Tiffy. Last couple games here, Tiffy has really kicked it up a notch, and I don't know if it's the shoes,
Perhaps.
or he's just, getting back into the swing of things. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I will say Tiffy has really turned it on, especially with his 3-pointers and shooting and things like that. So I'm giving it to Tiffy boy.
He played great. That's a solid choice. I give it to our Christmas boy, Cease, for this game. Very, very close to a double-double. Yeah, I mean, he and Gerald were both leading the way with rebounds, and I mean, he was real close to being a point leader, which is normally not where CC's contributions are most important. So it was great that he really hit it on both. So that's why I gave it to CC for this one.
I totally get it. I love it. But yeah, TP boy, I mean, 3 for 8 from the 3. 100% on his free throws. Got a couple rebounds in there. Really enjoy it. Watching him play. Let me see. Going straight into feats of strength here. Man, there was something I was going to say.
Beyond our score leaders, the first one I'm going to give a shout out in the feats of strength is Cam. So he did only I'm not saying that begrudgingly, just relative to his normal scoring, he only scored 6 points, but he was 2 of 5 from the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
So love to see that. He had 2 rebounds and assist.
Freaking okay. I love Rit so much, man. He's 50% with his freaking 3-pointers this game. I almost gave him player of the game because of that stat just right there. But I feel like that's so on brand, and Teef had been, just a little struggling lately. And so it was just good to see him kind of come back with it. Yeah.
Agreed. So while Narit was 50% from the 3, 4 of 8, who else was 50% from the 3-point line? 1 of 2, but still, our boy L.
Our boy L, sweet L, hitting a 3-pointer in there.
7 points and 2 rebounds.
I got to give a quick shout out to a few other people here. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Yeti for getting 3 for 3 on his free throws, and Mo getting 2 for 2 on his free throws. Obviously attributing to our high free throw percentage of 70%. So, love to see that. That definitely is one of our highest of the year.
Yeah, I think it may be the highest. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look back, but.
Right. I mean, we were 100% first half. We only shot 2. This is such a crazy thing for me because it's the tale of 2 different halves. When you look at the first half, we were looking a little sluggish, which was very similar to what we were looking like after that first game after Thanksgiving. The first half, it was really sluggish, really slow, just nothing was falling, nothing was going our way. And then the second half, it just, again, they came out and like a totally different team, and it was like, okay, there they are. So that was very similar. And that's after watching that game, going into the Commerce game, I kind of had a similar vibe. I was like, ooh, I bet they're going to be rusty. They're going to need to shake off the rust in the first half. And then second half, they're going to come out swinging, which is exactly what they did. I mean, they held Commerce to 18 total points. 18 total points in the entire second half.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because we did kind of expect a bit of a sluggish start, and that's understandable coming off of a break. But second half, they definitely came out and were completely different. They were awake. They were alive. They were back, baby.
They were back, baby. No, yeah, couldn't agree more. I could have sworn I took a screenshot of some statistic and now I can't find it. Maybe I didn't. I don't know what I did between now and then.
I really love the rebounds. That's one of the highest rebounding games we've had thus far as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, here it is. It was from Matt. He tweeted, Matt Atkins. He said, East Texas A&M, Texas A&M Commerce, were held to just 4 points in the last 11 minutes.
Yeah.
So they scored the majority of their points in the very few opening minutes of that second half, and then were just shut down completely the last 11 minutes of that half, which is, I mean, damn near almost the whole damn half.
I mean, the way that we turned it on the second half was so wild that when we started the second half, I was like, I want to win by 20. And by the end, Rit had hit like back-to-back 3-pointers. And I was like, get it to Rit one more time so we can win by 30.
That is true. She did keep saying that. She goes, I want to win by 30. Oh, man. And we could have easily, but I mean.
If they would have gave it to him one more time, but we were respectful the last possession and just held the ball. So that's fine.
Fine. I guess we can be respectful. Jesus. I don't like being respectful sometimes, though.
It's hard.
It's really hard. Let's see. What else? We held them to only 5 points off of turnovers, which I think is great. Because we didn't turn the ball over that much. We only turned it over, what'd you say, 9 times?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just all in all, really, really good game from the Jacks that second half, especially. Man, they, like you said, they just turned it on. They were back in it. They were focused. They were ready to go. In terms of non-basketball stuff, feats of strength, I definitely do like Commerce's setup in terms of like space and just let me hold that. I think it was fine for what they have. Obviously it was, I think, rougher for the staff, like the managers and some of the other staff, to like figure out spacing wise, like where they can sit, where they can put all their stuff. I mean, 2 of the guys that normally sit right behind the bench had to sit in the first little bleacher row, right, like directly in front of us, because there was nowhere, like the seating for the bench and then the first row of the stands were like 3 or 4 feet in space difference. I mean, it was a very, very tight squeeze. So there was no way that they could put all their chairs behind the bench like they normally do. So they had to be a little bit creative there, but it worked out just fine. And, we assisted where we could, cause I did felt bad. I was like, let me grab your bag and put it over here and help you out over here. And it's hard when you go to a new place and they just don't have a similar space set up like you do back at home. So you're trying to like figure out where everything should go. But I will say, though, their concessions were pretty decent. They had one hell of a pretzel. It was a very large pretzel. Very large pretzel. And yes. And then they also had beer and wine. Well, wine cooler, more like.
It's a very interesting wine choice. I decided to just go for it, but I asked the little guy, because at first it just listed Boda Box, which I know was one of the boxed wines. But I'm like, okay, so is it more of a red or a white? Like, what are we talking here?
Wow.
And he's like, I mean, I think kind of more of a red, but I'm like, can you let me look at one. Like I want to look at the box. And it said cherry limeade on it. And I was like, that sounds disgusting. Cause I'm thinking like red or white wine. And he's like,
Right.
well, it's more of kind of like a mixer, like a wine cooler. I was like, okay. Well, we'll give it a go. Why not? And it wasn't bad. I would never go buy one, but
No.
like on my own volition,
No.
get while I was there. So
Maybe that's just what the youths drink now or something.
maybe, yeah. But those kids nowadays, who knows?
Yeah, they can't handle the straight stuff. Anyway, so yeah, just an interesting setup. It was my first time there. The campus, from what we saw of it, looked nice. There were lots of pretty Christmas lights out, and they had a nice little pond or whatever that is when you
It
first
was,
arrived.
yeah, it was pretty. They had like a little pavilion up there. It looked very nice. However, the road going beside we were going to try to pull by the bus. And I was like, are we in Louisiana, man? Like my car is not made for this street. We got to get off this street before I pop a tire. It was not good.
That is true. All the people that worked there were really nice. No issues there. Got our tickets super easy. Again, thank you to Luke. Shout out to Luke and to Trayvon for helping us get tickets on the player list, because I mean, it probably wouldn't have mattered once we were there and like saw the seating arrangement. But like when you look online to buy tickets, it literally shows behind the bench is like player pass only seating. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, I guess that's the only way to get behind the bench in those seating bleachers is to get the player passes. So I was like, well, that's what we got to get. Anyway, so didn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they wouldn't have
But
cared.
we always go in expecting the worst, and you'll see why when we get to the next game on this.
That game has ruined me for.
Now you're on the same page as me with the hate there, but
Yeah, because before I was just like, meh, I'm just indifferent about them. Now I'm on team hate bus.
you went from apathetic to like aggressive hate.
Oh, I'm aggressively hating. Aggressively. And I thought I was going to turn over a new leaf in 2026 and be less upset and petty and pissed off about small stuff. And we have started off bad.
Guess what? New year, same us.
And it's over the dumbest shit too, I swear to God. Okay. Okay, any other positives you want to talk about game-wise?
9 steals. I think that's one of the higher steals numbers that we've had. So that's great.
Good point. I agree.
And low on the personal fouls, 13. That's kind of for us.
Yeah, that was low. You're right. Good point. Okay. You let me know when you're ready to go to the grievances.
I'm ready.
Okay, I got to pull it up. It's taking forever. There we go.
The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
All right. Where do we want to begin? I mean, I know where I want to begin, but you may not want to start.
You started off then.
I would just like to give a shout out to that Aussie player who karate chopped JC in the freaking throat. And you know, you're welcome, because you honestly were about to get your butt absolutely walloped by not only JC, but also 2 white girls in the stands. Because it was just uncalled for. And no matter what they say or what he says, it being, oh, it was not intentional. My dude, you don't, I mean, it's a physical game. Yes, it's a physical game, especially down there under the basket. But that, I'm sorry. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, so I was relating this story to my mother, and she had the best insult that I can't believe escaped the 2 of us, but I'll get to that in a minute. But I said, you know, here's the thing, and it may have very well have not been intentional, but with the 2 of us, anytime one of our players gets aggressively hit, clotheslined, what have you during a game, it's guilty until proven innocent. We are going to start out assuming that you did that shit on purpose, and we're not pleased about it. So
Until I see a replay, your ass
may
is
have
wrong.
very well been not on purpose, not intentional. However, I'm gonna say if he would have been very closely guarding Gerald at the moment it happened, I could have given some credence to the fact that maybe it wasn't intentional. But Gerald was like an arm's distance away almost when the forearm went out and caught him across the throat. So that's why, to me, I don't know if I buy that, but
Yeah.
Anywho, so somehow we missed because they were not the focal point of the possession. It was off ball, so that's not where we were focusing.
That's the other reason why I'm like, come on, if the ball was actually coming to you on the rebound and you were trying to box out and block out, I could see where you maybe like unintentionally like were trying to push him back and then you karate chopped him, but the ball wasn't even in the area.
Yeah, it was off ball. Anyway, so whatever, this happens, we missed it. Literally, the first thing I saw was Maddie B run like 2 feet onto the court and grab Gerald and kind of pull him forward. And then one of the refs, who actually was really very cool, came over and was kind of trying to diffuse it and was like, it wasn't intentional. And Gerald was like, I don't care, I'm going to whoop his ass anyway, as the ref was walking away. And the ref just kind of turned back and goes, no, don't do that.
No,
don't do that.
The good of all of us, just know. And I'm literally just like, yeah, do it.
So then, of course, I go to the roster to figure out his name so that we can heckle him specifically and individually and single him out. And he was from Australia, so I was yelling, "Go back to the Outback, Noah. No one wants you here," or whatever. And Kay, with the golden one-liner that why did neither of us think of? She said, "You should have said, maybe the dingo ate y'all, baby."
And here's the thing. Nobody would have gotten that except for us.
The two of us would have been the only ones laughing.
We would be the only ones laughing, and everybody be like, I don't understand why these girls are like tickled so hard. And it's because
they thought we were. But anyway,
Yeah.
So then after the game, when we kind of waited around and we were chit-chatting with Bryson's parents and Narit's parents, apparently Narit and Ak played with Mr. Noah Karate Chop, Australia, at West Texas A&M. And we're waiting to talk to him afterwards. And I said, "Oh, well, sorry that he's your friend." I yelled at him, but you know, I don't know. Maybe he didn't do it on purpose. He's your friend, but if anybody karate chops any of y'all in the throat, I will single them out and heckle them. So sorry, not sorry.
Agreed. That's my thing. I'm like, listen, I said that in the car on Wednesday when we were driving to Natchitoches. I'm like, you are guilty till proven innocent. I'm sorry. Like, any of our boys go down or get injured or they're bleeding, I'm gonna come after you with a pitchfork.
Yeah, and you know that had to knock the wind out of him so bad, like getting hit across the throat anyway, but especially when you're not expecting it.
Oh God. And it's just the other thing too, is because JC has been always pretty like, I'm not going to say like even keeled, because we've seen him get fired up, like pumped up because of the game and getting hyped up like that, but not.
I've never seen him mad ever.
Mad or angry. Right. Or upset. Yeah. And so to see him literally bending over and then coming up and his eyeballs and his face, you could just tell he was seething. I'm like, okay, something bad happened. What happened? And then I guess somebody was over there jawing, and he was about to walk over, and then, of course, thank God Maddie B was there and kind of pulled them back. But I was just like, why? In terms of the rest, that was my biggest grievance for the night.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the fact that we had a slow start in the first half, I really don't have much else negative or constructive to say.
Yeah, no, and I'm really glad that you started out with that because that was definitely the worst. Otherwise, the slow first half, if I'm nitpicking, or the fact that we didn't have any blocks, if I'm nitpicking.
Yeah.
But we more than made up for it second half. If I wanted to be real nitpicky, the only other thing I could think of, and I said how many rebounds we got, a shit ton of rebounds this game. I just wish that there weren't so many games where the defensive boards are like twice the amount of offensive boards.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have that many. I would just love to have a little more congruency between the O's and the D's on the rebounds. But
when things are going well for us, when we're having to be like so nitpicky about our grievances, or they're not even about like stuff on the court.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, how spoiled are we right now?
I know. We're not used to this. It hasn't been this way in a few seasons.
But yeah, I was like, we have been used to this. There have been great seasons where we're just like, wow, we got nothing bad to say. Wrap this up in 20 minutes. But you know what I mean?
It's been a minute or two.
It has. And so it's kind of nice not to have it be just one big, bitch fest.
Great.
If I had to nitpick anything else, I would just say I wish the bleachers were more comfortable. That if you're going to have a clear bag policy, that you follow it or don't have it.
Yeah, that was annoying because we were walking up to the gym and saw the big like sandwich board sign that clearly said clear bag policy. So we turned around, went back to my car, switched things around. Clear bags came in. Everybody and their mama had a regular purse, and nobody said boo about it. But
yep. I digress. It's just these kinds of random things. I'm like, my God. But you know what?
Why have it if they're not going to enforce it? I just don't get it.
I think that's just me. It's like, and also, here's the thing. Like, I guess if you're going to do it too, like, why not just make it a conference-wide rule? Because then you would know going into the game that any conference game you go to, you have to have a clear. You know what I mean? Like, leaving it up to the schools individually is confusing because then you have to literally check the school's website and hopefully they have it posted somewhere obvious. Like, I feel like every time we go somewhere, I have to like dig to see if there's a clear bag policy or not. And thank God you keep them in your car. Otherwise, I just shove stuff in my big old like puffer jacket.
Well, thankfully it was cold enough that day that you were wearing one. Otherwise that wouldn't have been an option.
That's true. Because my leggings didn't have pockets.
That's exactly why I keep them in my car. But let me just say, if you have less than 450 fans at your game, you don't need a clear bag policy.
Also,
you don't.
I know it was break, so we'll give them a little bit of a reprieve from the fan total. But I will say their band was pretty peppy, so I'll give them kudos there. But I have questions about the makeshift 2x4 balcony that was constructed in the bleachers across from us, with 4 gaming chairs kind of haphazardly tossed up there.
It looked like a combination between a gaming chair and one of those massage chairs.
Yeah. And I'm not hating on it. I am a little bit. I have questions. I would like to know who sits there. Hopefully it's been sanded and you're not going to get any splinters. I have questions. Is that ADA compliant? Is that approved? Like, is that?
Is it fire marshal approved? I doubt it.
Has that been vetted to make sure it's sturdy? Like,
it looks like untreated 2x4s, just like as if I hammered them together up there.
That's exactly what it looks like. It's
Like
exactly
20 minutes before the game, I just rolled up with 2x4s and hammered them together.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it was just constructed an hour ago. I mean, again, I'm not trying to be hateful. I just would like to know the purpose of that.
Yeah.
I'd like to know. Because if you're trying to create like a VIP seating experience, I'm not sure that's it. Just gonna...
That could be like a before and after Instagram or Pinterest fail.
It could be really cool, but I think you might need to at least stain that wood or something. Also, my other grievance, again, I have so many grievances and they're not even basketball related. My other grievance is, I don't know who approved the mascot for A&M Commerce. But the last time I checked, Lions don't have orange manes. Like when I say orange, I mean like burnt orange. Like orange. I haven't seen it align with an orange mane. I don't think ever. I'm just throwing it out there if you want to be accurate. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Okay, I'm done. All right, so word of the game. Word to describe this game. I would say it was icy. And it was a couple reasons because we almost beat them by 30 points. We, again, the staff is always looking fresh to death with their fits on the sidelines. It's just the drip is real. And then obviously the score and the temperature. It was colder than a witch's tit over there, man.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm not usually a cold girly. I'm pretty warm most of the time, but lately I've been getting cold so easily. And I was like, I had on, my long sleeve had on this with a shirt underneath. And then I had my freaking puffer big old jacket on top of that. I had like 3 layers on. That doesn't happen. I'm not a 3-layer girl.
And so it was like, I think the low there was 27, and then in fact it was actually chilly enough when we first got there in the gym that Alex still had her sweatshirt on for a while.
This sweatshirt stayed on almost the whole girls game. The only reason I took it off for the guys game is because I get more animated. Yeah.
I think I will go with finisher for my word of the game, or dose for the second half. I don't know. Take your pick.
Finisher.
Alex knows the inside joke for that one. And Ty, if he's watching. And my brother who never watches, but.
Oh my God. Jacqueline.
Did he ever answer back about that story? Because if not, you're going to have to ask him.
I'm going to have to ask him again. I'll have to ask him again. Okay.
Anyway, on we go.
Moving on to game number 2, New Year's Eve. So on 12/31, just a couple nights ago, again, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2026. We went to Natchitoches, Louisiana, to Prather Coliseum, a.k.a. the airplane hangar, and went to see us play Northwestern. So this one was fun for a lot of reasons. It's always nice to go to Natchitoches, especially during the Christmas time, because I will say, no matter how negatively I feel about the school, the city itself, especially during Christmas, 10 out of 10.
Very, very cute little town.
Can't beat it. 10 out of 10. But yeah, so we had a third person on this trip as well. Jacqueline, do you want to tell everyone about our third?
Sure. So John Ruizo, friend of mine, he went to SFA undergrad. Has been in the military. Thank you for your service. He is grew up in Center, Texas, and usually comes back for the holidays. And so he came to the game with us and actually had never been to Natchitoches before. So that was a first for him. So we Three of us trekked off. We did a little stop through the French Market gas station. If any of you have been to Natchitoches and not been there, you should stop. All of the restaurants in Natchitoches are delightful, but if you don't have time for that, if you're pressed for time, French Market has a nice little spread of meat pies, beignets, cookies.
All of it.
The one thing that I forgot to get Boudin, which is one of my favorites. They have an excellent wine selection. I mean, they have everything. It's like a mini Buc-ee's.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, so we stopped there, got some meat pies, some cookies and whatnot, and we went and parked downtown, walked and sat on a little park bench by the river and ate our little meat pie snack. And walked downtown a bit. Caught the end of the girls' game. They got a dub that day. Fell a little bit short in Commerce, but they came back and got the dub in Natchitoches. Then after the game, we drove back along the river so we could see the Christmas lights at night. So that was fun. Then we came back and did our brewery party, as Alex said. So it was a fun little day.
It was a long day, but it was a fun day. Definitely enjoyed it. I always love the drive. It seems to go, even though it's like a 2-hour drive, it seems to go really quick. And so, yeah, enjoyable day.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, definitely it does go quickly because after the Commerce game, Alex and I were both talking to Rit's parents and to Bryson's parents, and I was telling them both, oh, it's only an hour and a half drive from Nac. It's not that far. And then I get home and look at it and it's like 2 hours. I'm like, whoops. Also, I was both telling them, like, if you have time, make it a day, get there a little bit early, eat. I was trying to remember the name of the restaurant all the restaurants are good. But specifically the one on the river, could not remember the name, looked it up. I was like, I think it's Merci Beaucoup. It's really good. You should go there. Then I get home and look that up as well. And it's Maglio's on the river, not Merci Beaucoup. So I'm like, oops. And then we see Rit's parents at the game, and I saw them both separately at different points. And they made a point to tell me, oh, we went to Merci Beaucoup. It was so good. And I'm like, well, I'm really glad it was good because that's not actually the recommendation I was thinking of when I gave that to you. And I realized that later. So glad to hear you enjoyed it. But,
yeah. But yeah, no, I'm glad they enjoyed it. I'm glad they came in early and went and got some food. It was and always is a pleasure to eat those meat pies.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
All right. General history, background info. So going into this game, we had 42 wins and 36 losses in our previous matchup versus Northwestern. Last matchup, we won 70-68 in Natchitoches in February. Largest margin of victory was 97-50 in 2018. And the smallest margin of victory, we talk about it every time we play Northwestern, was 64-63 buzzer beater at William R. Johnson in 2013.
God.
Our boy Jacob Parker with the steal and the the full court run.
Oh.
Back in the days when there was no empty seats in the Coliseum.
That was and will always be one of my favorite games in the Coliseum. Like
Absolutely.
top five in the Coliseum. Top 5.
Absolutely.
That place, the roof blew off of that place. It was nuts. And plus, it's just always nice when you play, your rival. With Northwestern's always been, one of our biggest rivals, especially because, Natchitoches is our sister city. Natchitoches, and so it's always just been a natural rivalry. Rivalry across the river and this and that, and it's big in football too. And so it's just always good to play your rival, whether at home and away, and steal a win, especially like that.
Yeah. So nice.
Yeah. Love it. Okay. Going over the current Southland Conference men's basketball standings as of today, right now on Friday. SFA and Nichols are both tied in first place at 4-0. We obviously have a slightly better overall score, so that is why we're listed first at 11-2, and then they're at 5-8. So they've been playing really well in the conference play so far. So good on them, but hopefully that won't last too long. Then you have McNeese at third place at 3-1. Lamar at 2-2. UAW 2-2. A&M Corpus Christi at 2-2, and New Orleans at 2-2. Then literally everyone else in the league is at 1-3. So Commerce 1-3, HCU, UTRGV, Southeastern, and Northwestern. So there is a pretty big difference between the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the conference are all at 1-3, and then the rest have a couple wins, and then the rest of us at the top of there. So yeah, needless to say, things have been going well in Lumberjack land.
Love to see it.
God.
All right, general game notes. Okay, let's see. Colin, the McNeese game is going to be one to watch on Monday the 5th.
Yeah. I really want to do my damnedest to try to go to that game.
I really do too, but I don't know if I'm going to be able. We'll see.
I know it's so difficult. Well, that's the day I go back to work, and like I have meetings that day, but all of them are done by like 2 or 3, and that's like the last possible time that we could leave would be like 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, my problem with that is that I have a meeting at 3:30.
Oh fuck! Is it in person?
Which is via Zoom, but like that's the time that I would need to be getting to NAC to leave, and I don't know how well that would work on the road.
The only thing I can think of is if you left and came to Lufkin and got to Lufkin by 3, and then I would just drive, and then you could do your Zoom passenger princess.
Yeah, I'm just saying I would hate to take the chance of trying to do a Zoom on the road because of service wise.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's probably right about the time we'd be hitting like Corrigan or something, and I would have no service. Anywho, we'll save that for offline, but that's my issue.
I know.
And I love those boys so much, but I just cannot drive to Hammond tomorrow. So we're going to have to watch that one at home.
I considered it though. For a split second after the game on Wednesday, I was like, you know what? Keep playing like this, and I might make that 6+ hour drive on Saturday.
So I really did too. But when I looked it up, here's the thing: that game, it wouldn't benefit either one of us to drive to the other and carpool, because for you from NAC it would be 5.5 hours. For me from Tyler, it's only 6. So it's like I would be adding another hour both directions to come to NAC and carpool. You know what I mean? Like, because of the route from here to there, me just driving on my own is only 30 more minutes, whereas driving to NAC would be an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah. Anyway, otherwise I would have considered it. But anywho, all right.
I get you, man.
General game notes. Same cast of characters starting: Keon, Cece, Cam, Gerald, Lateef. We did win 74-64. Their attendance was very low, 301. Sean Kennedy's, which will come into play later. That's why I'm being petty about it right now. A measly 301. Sean Kennedy's stat section: field goal percentage 46.6%, 3-point 26.1%, free throw 70%. Points in the paint, 38 points off turnovers, 5 second chance points, 9 fast break points, 8 bench points, 17. The scorer was tied twice in the lead, changed twice. Total rebounds, 42. We had 12 offensive and 30 defensive. We had 19 fouls, 9 turnovers again. They only had 7 turnovers. We had 4 steals and 1 block. Game leaders, we had Keon at the top with 21 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. We had Lateef with 17 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Cam with 9 points and 4 rebounds, and Gerald with 9 rebounds, 4 points, 1 block.
Yeah, so this was Gerald's return to Northwestern. As some of you may know, he transferred from Northwestern to SFA at the end of last season. So, yeah, I was wondering, I was just, thinking in what was in his head when he's coming back to the school that he played at previously. And then Jacqueline and I kept thinking and sitting there, and I was like, I remember last year's game pretty well. And I do not remember Gerald at all.
Neither of us did. Like
you would think that if he played that he would at least be like a thorn in our sides type of thing, like, oh, he's just blocking everything, or oh, he's just, getting all the rebounds. I don't remember that.
And I meant to look up the stats from that game. I'll do it in a minute when you're talking about something, just so we can see. But I don't think he had much time on the court, because we don't remember him at all.
At all. Anyway, okay, well, you can do it while I'm talking about my player of the game. So my player of the game is Keon. For obvious reasons, he was high point, 21 points. But really, I want to talk about his assists. He had 5 assists. This boy has been just so consistent and so good at his role. And all along, we've been talking about how much Maddie B is such a, focusing on role players, know your role, know what you're supposed to be doing. And Keon is just such a poster child for knowing his role. But the fact that he can also score on top of still moving the ball around and getting assists, and hell, even getting 2 rebounds in there and a steal. Again, there's so many good things about him, but the fact that he is so good at spreading the ball around, but also scoring, is just so good. So that's why Keon, my player of the game. But I do want to give a special shout out to Cam for a couple reasons. One, he was, I believe, 50% from the 3 to 6. Yep. So he had 3 really, really pretty 3-pointers. And also, I just love his demeanor and like his vibe and his energy on and off the court. He's just a cool guy to watch. He's so fun. He's so energetic, and he's just really magnetizing. Like, I feel like you could easily root for him. And I do really appreciate that a lot.
Me too. Yeah. And I'll expand on that more. I think Alex referring to a little reel that I saw SFA men's basketball share, and I had to show it to her on the drive back. And because, as she said, on and off the court, so he was actually on the bench at this moment. It was a reel showing off one of Latif's made shots.
Mm-hmm.
But then they scanned over to all the guys on the bench, on the sideline, celebrating, and literally Cam was going off, and like, yeah. So anyways, it's just the best. Just shows that while, some players who are starters, any moment that they're on the bench, they're like in their feels or a little salty about it. And he's literally like the most hype one on the bench about Latif hitting the shot. Great.
Just to quickly caveat from that too, I feel like all the guys, no matter whether they're starters or off the bench, I feel like they love cheering each other on, and they're always like each other's number one fan, which I think is also such a testament to the coaching staff and how much they're able to like create such a amazing culture and family environment on this team and in this roster, and in such a short time. A lot of these guys, they, all of them except for Cece and Keon, they're brand new, and some of them haven't played together at all until, midsummer. And so This has only been like 6 months ish of getting to know each other, like truly.
Yeah.
And it's just, you would think these guys have been playing together for 3 years.
Could not agree more.
Yeah.
So quick sidebar on that. So Gerald did not start in the game against Northwestern last season. However, he did play 29 minutes.
What?
So I think this is another case of, and he had, so here were his stats. He had 8 rebounds, I'm giving them all just to give a clear picture.
Yeah.
8 rebounds, 3 personal fouls, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 2 points. Fairly similar to what he does for us, but I don't necessarily get the vibe that it was appreciated there the way that it should have been. And I think Maddie B's coaching style of really stressing roles have made him feel appreciated for his contributions and upped them more than they were.
Well, yeah, this kid's like number 1 in the NCAA for blocks. I mean, he is a one-man wrecking crew block party. So, and I feel like that's so obvious too when you look at some of these other guys as well. I mean, from the starters all the way down to the guys on the bench, like everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing at any given time. They know their role. And I have not seen as of yet, season's still early. We're just in January. I have not really truly seen anyone get pissed off, like upset. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like last year it just felt like everybody was mad constantly. Everyone was mad. Coaching, the players, everyone was just having a bad day every day.
Yeah, and there were a lot of things going on in the background and just our record in general.
Yeah, and it's just so wild how, it's just
how tides have turned.
How the turntables have turned. Yeah. Anyway, okay.
So my player of the game.
Yeah.
I pretty much was on the same wavelength that you were on the first game of this episode. I gave it to Latif on this one. Not at all to say that we're saying that he's been playing poorly. He just hasn't been playing as amazing as usual. And this game, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. He was back at it, baby. And let's see what his.
I agree. Just these last 2 games, I feel like he's gone back to where he was in the beginning of the season, like just producing and playing well. And I love it. And again, we know everybody is going to have off games, and sometimes you got other things going on. You may have an off week, or who knows? I mean, nobody's perfect. Like I don't expect perfection. I don't expect 100% on every freaking statistic. But to see that you can have a couple bad games and then rebound and really like get out of your own way and out of your head, because sports are like 90% mental and then the rest is all physical. And so it's just like sometimes you just have to get out of your own way and get out of your head. And not saying that that's what was happening, but yeah, I love when I can watch guys struggle one game and then the next game it's like that other game never even occurred. Like it's completely just wiped from their memory and they're like, okay, we're back in the game. Or even from half to half.
Yeah. We like that even better.
Yeah. Love it. I have so many things to say, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, I know. Okay, all right. Feats of strength beyond our top guys that we've talked through. So CC had a great game, also 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists.
I've already talked about Cam with his 3 threes. Really, it was just Cam, Latif's 2, and Keon's 1 in terms of our 3-point shooting. We attempted a lot more, but only really made those.
Yeah. Latif from the 3-point was actually only 2 of 9. But the the two that he made were great. And, you know, like we've said, live by the three, die by the three. But again, it is important. Obviously, there's a gray area in there somewhere of when to redirect from the 3-point line. But it is nice to have a coaching staff who emphasizes the roles for each player, understands it goes both ways, that the coaches and the players know who the 3-point shooters are, and that there is enough confidence and whatever I'm trying to say, enough confidence in them to allow them the space to take those and redirect when necessary. And they got to have that space to not get in their own heads. So all that to say, Yeti also scored 6 points and had 4 rebounds.
Listen, y'all know if you've been watching so far this season how much I'm just begging and pleading for Yeti to like bust out of his shell and really like turn it on, and he has been slowly getting there. I feel like we're on the cusp. We're on. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, because there have been a few baby steps, and we're starting to take bigger steps, and we're
I feel like we are so close to having a Yeti game. Like, I mean,
close to the line of his potential. I feel like we're getting closer to it every game.
Yeah, because he made some really, really amazing moves to the basket during the Natchitoches game that have me going, oh.
Yeah.
There we go.
I do listen. This is my own bias in my mind because I was a small player who played guard, shooting guard. It is just my own personal bias that I always get a little anxious in the tummy when I see someone that big beyond the 3-point line putting a dribble on the floor. You could out dribble me and I will still get anxious if you're big and you put it on the floor outside the 3-point line. That's just my knee-jerk reaction. But the last few games, there have been a few moments where he'll be outside the 3-point line and put the ball on the floor, and my immediate knee-jerk reaction is, oh, Yeti, no. And the last 2 or 3 games, I've been the oh no, and then I end with a ooh.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, Yeti. All right, go Yeti.
Exactly.
We're getting there.
Pleasantly surprised with exactly what you just said. I'm like, oh, there he is. Just again, getting tougher under the basket, boxing out, blocking out, all of the B's and all of the D dribbling and all the things has been steadily getting better and better and better. Not saying it's 100% there yet, but like I said, I feel like we are on the cusp. We are on the cusp of a Yeti breakout game where he goes off double digits, maybe a double-double. Like I feel like we're so close. And when that occurs, I may buy some confetti.
Yeah. Agreed.
I might just buy confetti anyway and just leave it in my bag. And
we'll be prepared for when the day comes.
Yeah, because hopefully it'll be at home, and so I can literally, as they're coming over for hugs, I can just sprinkle it all over his head and be like, "Thank you." That might be too far, or not far enough. I don't know.
Right.
They should know by now that we're just 2 ridiculous girls. So, anyway, we're on the cusp.
Very close.
What else? Oh man, I'm just
C Green had a nice little. He was only in for 4 minutes. He got 2 points and 2 rebounds.
He got 2 rebounds, exactly. Yeah, no, C Green coming in, and also today is C Green's birthday, so happy birthday, C Green!
Happy birthday, Christian!
Feliz cumpleaños para ti.
I think we're almost ready to bounce into our.
Are we? Because God, my Lord Almighty, I'm
we got
bouncing.
A lot, and
I'm bursting at the seams right now.
Wait, okay. So sorry, I have one more feat of strength for this game that will segue us right into.
Okay, hold on.
Mama Tess says, shout out to the announcers in both games. They had nothing but high praise for our players and Coach Matt. So nice to hear that coming from the opposing team's announcers. That's good to know. I'm glad to hear that.
I am glad to hear that because I was concerned on the Monday night game in Commerce because all the boys in our group chat were saying that the stream and that the feed and the announcing was bad. And I'm like, okay. And then I come home and mom's like, oh my God, the announcers for Commerce were just praising our team the whole time. She goes, I think they had more positive stuff to say about our team than their own team. And I'm like,
well, I mean, if they were watching the second half, then
like to the point where on the foul against Gerald they all thought that it should have been an intentional flagrant.
Oh, wow.
The announcers were like, that's crazy.
Well, and see, here's the thing. It really should have been. And I will only be on my pedestal for 2 seconds about this, I promise. But if you were going by the rule book, it really should have been, because one of the line items of options to determine that it's a flagrant is if it's in the head or neck area with unnecessary force, i.e. you're not going for the ball because it was off the ball. So it really should have been. It really should have been, because you can't say, oh, I was going for the ball and I just missed. There was nothing. You were going for him. There was nothing else there.
Exactly.
And it was definitely across the neck. Anything that's shoulders and up and you're not going for the ball, that really could be.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And then in terms of the announcers for the Natchitoches game, the Natchitoches announcers for ESPN are always good. And I attribute that a lot to the one guy, Patrick, who has been there for forever doing the announcing. He's just great, and he's funny, and he has a really good personality for it. And also shout out to him and his producer for that amazing Patrick versus Patrick graphic that was created for, and of course we're not watching the game, so we didn't see this live. It was screenshotted and then sent to us multiple times. I saw it on Twitter and it was on text message about the Patrick versus Patrick. So Latif versus Patrick, the announcer, on a graphic board. And if you haven't seen it, go to our Twitter and you'll see it, because it's 10 out of 10 hilarious. This kind of stuff. That's funny.
It was really funny. My last feat of strength that actually was game related, and I almost forgot it. And it segues into grievances, and a grievance I actually forgot for the first game, but I'll wrap it all together. Don't worry. But y'all remember, Latif's dad, I noticed that also, the bench excitement for each other.
Yeah, agreed.
Love that. So one of my grievances the last couple of games have been that we need to do better talking on screens.
Oh, dude.
Because that is a big pet peeve of mine as a former player. Y'all, I'm a small girl, and if I turned around and just ran smack into somebody, one of my teammates was getting chewed out for not giving me the heads up on that. And I know it's hard. There's a lot of things going on, but you got to look out. You got to look out for your players and try to give them some kind of heads up. Not only for defensive to try to talk on screens, whether you're switching or if they should go over or under, but also just so they don't smack into a brick wall.
Yeah.
In this game at Natchitoches, I heard Elle yell out one time it was either over or under, but he was yelling ahead of the screen, telling them which way to go. And I was like, I love to hear that. I love to hear someone talking on screens so much. And we'll go right into the grievances, and I'll recap.
Newcomers. The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. You're going to hear about it.
So my grievance I forgot from the Commerce game, there was at least 3 screens that, first of all, we didn't talk on. And so my boy Cam ran right into a brick wall. But
3 times.
But beyond that, at least probably 2 of them should have been called as a moving screen, and we got no whistle.
For sure.
So that's my grievance. I forgot from the Commerce game. That was the one thing that I was heated up about the most. But then Gerald got the forearm to the throat. That one was worse. But where'd we begin on Northwestern? I'm really not going to trouble you all with a refresher on why I am fired up about Northwestern, because we'll be here all night and I'll think of 10 more complaints. But 2 years ago, whenever Alex and I went with, this is what segues into our grievance this time. 2 years ago, when Alex and I went with our buddy Jackson, you got to buy their VIP level tickets to sit in the section behind the bench. So we bought them. They're $25. It's not as if they're like $1,000. We might be balling on a budget, but we can afford a $25 ticket. And maybe no less than like 3 times we had people come up to us who, some of them were not, this was after we had already showed staff the ticket on the phone, and people who are not even staff come up to ask us if we have the tickets to sit in those seats. And literally when we left, Alex and I to each other, I was like, next time we are gonna like have t-shirts made with an image of the ticket QR code on the shirt. And we should have done it, because sure as shit, we come in about 2 to 3 times we're asked to show the tickets. Then Bryson's mom, Monique, comes down to chat with us. I'm telling y'all, okay, we're on the 3rd row.
It's in between games.
In between games, we're on the 3rd row. Me, Alex, and John. I think we're the only 3 people on that row. There's a few people on the 1st row. The rest of the section, at least the half of the section behind our bench, empty. Empty. No one is there. I read y'all my petty announcement of their attendance, 300 something people, okay? Monique comes down to speak to us. She's not even sitting. She's standing, talking to us. And the woman, the Nazi in charge of that section, has to come up and tell us, if she doesn't have a ticket to sit here, she'll have to go stand behind the railing and you'll have to speak to her there.
That was strike 1.
I'm going to let you carry on with the rest.
Again, as you all know, I usually let Jacqueline get fired up about stuff like this and she can go off on tangents. But this game and this woman in particular severely just burned my biscuits. I could not believe the audacity of her to come up and tell us that if she doesn't have a ticket for this section, that we can't stand here and have a conversation in between games. There's guys on the court warming up, like half the section left to go get fucking balls and mashed potatoes over in the freaking, oh, your VIP tickets get you food. Thanks, but no thanks, because your mashed potatoes sucked.
They were dry and they had no cheese or gravy or nothing.
Nothing, Jesus. Okay. But again, it's in between basketball games. There's nothing happening around us. Nothing. There was 10 minutes left on the clock. Like, you mean to tell me we can't stand here and have a conversation? What?
And even during the games, there was no one sitting there. No one.
Okay. That was strike 1. That was strike 1. Really and truly and honestly, strike 1 was when we walked in and the ladies at the front table that scanned us in, wonderful, very sweet, very nice. They asked us if we had a good Christmas. They were nice. And I just again, I try to be as nice as I can to people when we're out and about doing things, because, you know, you're sometimes a volunteer or a low paid worker when you're doing stuff like this. So you don't get paid enough to deal with assholes. Okay. So correct. I try to, especially when we're visiting, I try to be as nice as I possibly can. Maybe crack a few jokes, try to break tension.
And I will say quickly, the ladies at the front desk actually were very nice and kind to us. And we walked in along with Joe, Max, and Jane. And Alex and I had seen that they said they had clear bag policy at Northwestern. So when we saw Jane and Joe Max walking up at the same time as us. I did see and clock that Jane had a bag that was not clear, but I'm thinking we just went to Commerce and they said they had clear bag policy and they didn't enforce it. So Northwestern's probably not going to enforce it. I've carried closed containers of liquor into their Coliseum and opened them and drank them. I have had a pizza, a large ass pizza delivered to the building and brought in the pizza box and sat down and ate it. So I thought they're not going to say anything. And we walk in ahead of them, but they had seen us with them outside. And the lady said to me, is that your mom? Because she's not going to be able to bring her bag in. So I went to tell Jane and to offer to take the purse back to her car. But I knew she would be very flattered that they thought Jane was my mother. So she was tickled with that one. She was like, "Come on, I guess I'm your mom for the day." I said, "You can be my mom for the day."
Listen, yeah, they were
They were
very sweet. They thought I was a
back to the-
coach. Listen, they thought I was a coach because I had on my cutoff pullover hoodie thing that says SFA basketball, and I should have said yes, but I was like, no, like I'm an armchair coach. I am not a coach, but I pretend to be. And but thank you very much for thinking that I was. But anyway, so we're walking in. I asked them, hey, what's the quickest way to get to our seats? This is where we're at. And they said, hey, just go through this door and then just, walk along the court and go up to your seats. And I'm like, okay, wonderful. We walk in. The game is still happening for the girls' game, right? And so we try to scoot along to the side and we come up to the very first guy who's security / ushering. And I very, very nicely and calmly ask, hello, what would you prefer us to do to get to our seats? We're over in C section. Should we walk behind here or go up and around? You would have thought I asked him, how the hell do you get to Atlantis?
Mars. Yeah.
He was like, what did I just asked the most absurd thing in the world. I was like, well, I literally was like, we're in C section. Would you prefer us to walk behind this row, the press row right here, or to go up and around? And then begrudgingly, he was like, up and around. And I was like, it's just a question. I don't understand what the deal is. It was a simple question.
We're trying to be accommodating and you tell us where to go so that we're not in the way.
So, yeah. And then we go up and around, we see some people up in the stands that we know. We say, hello, hello, wave, wave, wave. Then we go down into the section we bought it in. And not even 3 steps into that section, that damn lady was just like, I'm going to need to see your tickets. And I'm like, ma'am, we have tickets for this row. She goes, I know, but I still need to see them. And I'm like, okay, well, give us a second. We'll show you the ticket. If you just ask nicely, we would have been happy to show you our ticket. I would have got it tattooed on my effing forehead if that would have made it easier for you. I mean, just insane. But the absolute icing on the cake, strike 3, the absolute icing on the cake was at the end of the game. At the end of the game, we're cheering, clapping, yay, go team. They're doing their little handshakes and high fives along the thing. And all Jacqueline and I do is we walk 2 steps down to the very front row where people were sitting not 5 minutes ago, to stand there to see if maybe some of the guys will come over and give us a hug. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. At away games, it just kind of depends. Okay. And she literally clocked as soon as we made a footstep down the stairs, she goes, nope. And I'm like, man, we're not going on the court. We're just going to stand right here sometimes they come over and give us hugs. Well, they have to come to you. You can't go down there. I'm like, I don't want to go down there. I wasn't about to go down there. I wasn't about to go on the court. I was like, we could just stand right here. She goes, no, you have to go back up. We're like,
well, then she told us we had to leave the section completely.
Yeah, because apparently that wasn't good enough. I was like, okay, well, then we'll go back up to our seat. She goes, no, you just got to go. You just got to get behind the railing. I'm like, what? Get behind the railing? We can't even go up and stand in our actual seats that we paid for? Nope. She gave me the hand. She did this and then trudged off to go talk to some other lady that had a South End Conference badge on. and then probably talk smack and be like, well, these people are being rude and they're not listening to me. And I'm like, I just asked a question. And
also, need I remind anyone, and you can refer back to the episode to hear my whole entire rant, but last year, number one, aggressive fan from Northwestern, John, someone was taking their job a little too seriously for sure. Bingo. 2 seasons ago, sorry, my bad. Aggressive fan from Northwestern walked his happy little ass from the cheap seats all the way down onto the court, past our bench. Nobody said nothing. Nobody asked to see his ticket. Then the security had to go physically get him and tell him that he had to leave the premises. And guess what? After the game, not only was he back in the building, he was walking around the court. And that was allowed. But yet we can't take 2 steps down in our section.
No. I mean, you would have thought I asked to see the Declaration of Independence. Like, can I get that out from under the bulletproof glass and can I hold it in my tiny little hand? You would have thought I've asked to touch the Holy Grail. You would have thought I asked to touch the frickin' like Shroud of Turin. Like, it's just absolutely insane things like this that I'm just like, okay, I've had it up to here with this place. Everything about this city is great, minus these few people. Like you're ruining for the rest of us. And it's not like it's a jam-packed out game. There's 300 people here or less. Like, sweet baby Jesus. I mean, if every single school we went to was like that and the people that worked there were that ridiculous, I wouldn't travel ever to go to any game. It'd be miserable. And could you imagine if we did that kind of stuff at our Coliseum?
No.
I mean, it's one thing, yes, you're asking to make sure that we have tickets in your precious VIP seats. Also, bullshit. If they were that important to you, you would actually screw and bolt those sons of bitches down.
Right? We felt, now that I know John's watching us live, he can attest to this. Anytime you sat or stood from these stadium seats, the whole row rocked.
Whole row.
You know, we were sad that we didn't get to do the little river steamboat ride on the river there. We had our own boat ride in the stands because every time
we had a roller coaster ride,
rocking back and forth.
Literally, every time I like grab my leg to cross my legs or whatever, we would go blink, blink, and I'm just like, if you really thought that these seats were precious, maybe you should do a better job. I don't know, installing them. It's just bullshit like that. I'm just like, okay, John said, yes, for reals it did. Like, I mean, give me, it was just one thing after another. And I'm like, okay, I tried to be nice. I tried to be understanding. I tried to give grace, but you guys are making it really hard right now to be a God-fearing woman. Like I was about ready. I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to have a shouting match with a freaking little old lady from Northwestern, but I was so close to just saying, all right, well, I would love to speak to somebody in charge because it's not you. I cannot believe that you're causing so much of a stir over us walking 2 rows down to stand in the front row, which we would have been doing if we were sitting there to begin with. Yeah. There were people sitting there not 5 minutes ago. So you're mean to tell me that if we were sitting down there in those seats, just like those people were, and we stood up to cheer, and we were hoping some people would come over and give us a hug, that was wrong, and we would have to go stand behind the railing? No!
I'm gonna put it on record here so that you and everyone else can hold us accountable. Literally, for real. The next time that we go to a game there, we're buying our tickets online in enough time to where we can get shirts made that say, yes, I have a ticket for this seat with the big ass QR code.
I'll wear a hat.
Like, I'm doing it. Or we can print them out and put them around our neck. I don't know. I mean, I want to be as like obnoxiously petty as possible.
I think we can literally print out our ticket and then stick it on a poster board and then just write, yes, I have a ticket for this seat. And it's just, we're going to hold it up. And
Like
here,
get into a headband or something. I mean, I don't know.
I'll wear any of it. I'm at that level of pettiness with these people. Like,
got to be per our conversation, me, Alex, and John on the drive up there. We got to be more petty than 50 Cent next year.
Yeah, if I'm at that point with,
if we're not matching 50's level of petty, we're not there.
So anyway, yeah, that was really my biggest grievance. I mean, honestly, like that was it. It wasn't even basketball related. I told you guys it was not basketball related. Had nothing to do with what was happening on the court. Not a damn thing. Actually, one of the positives about the game that I totally missed was the 4-man jam band over there in the little student section over there. There was four dudes in that little pep band. There was a guitar player, a guy with, I think, either a trombone or a trumpet, a keyboard, and drums. And they were jamming.
They were lively. They played some good stuff.
Listen. That was the best part of it all. You know, obviously, other than the dub, that was the best part. I was like, man, they're over there jamming with 4 people. And then some crotchety broad had to bring it all down with, anyway, I was just beyond. And again, it's not just an us thing. Like, Monique can back us up. Bryson's mom can back us up because she was standing right there when that lady came up and said it. John can back us up. We're not blowing this out of proportion. Like, this is not hyperbole. I promise you, this actually happened. Anyway.
And the fact that they allowed a fan who was asked or was removed from the premises for his aggressiveness, they let him back in the building and let him walk around the court. But we
After the game?
but we can't take 2 little steps down from our seats.
Yeah.
She probably
had a hard on against me because during, when was it? In between the girls and guys game, we went down and got the shitty potatoes. I grabbed an extra Sprite for Chase and literally walked down, took 2 steps onto the court to give it to him, and then came back up yet again in between games. Let me remind you, the ladies at the front table told us to walk in the game
on the court.
Let me remind you.
Correct.
Okay. I'm just gonna put that back out there in case I forgot to mention that.
That is where they told us to enter.
Yeah.
And go to our seats.
If they could have easily said, well, ladies, probably best if you just walk around
to the next
airplane hangar and go up the little, tunnel and then come up and into your seats that way. They could have easily said that. And I'd be like, no problem. Whatever.
That's why we asked. That's why we asked. We're letting you tell us where to go.
Anywho, so yeah, I got nothing in terms of gameplay. I'm good with it, man. We won. The Demons can suck my big toe. I wish I would have caught her name. I'm just mad enough to name drop. But I didn't. It's irrelevant now. But now that I've let it out for the 3rd time, I'm good.
I think the only game grievance that I have, and it's not really us, it's going to be a referee one, is when they called that atrocious BS foul on C Green literally as the clock ran out for halftime.
Yeah. Good point.
Foul on a 3-pointer, of which they got 3 free throws, and it was just literally before I could even get my phone to text referee Richard and ask his thoughts, he texted and said that was a weak foul. I was not pleased with that. And right on the buzzer, like, it was just so dumb. He was trying to get out of the way, and the kid fell on him. And they also did have several players who were really doing the most on trying to flop.
Oh, yeah, they were flopping all over the place. That's true.
So
actually, you're right. I do have a grievance for the gameplay. oh man, how do I say this? It's not even a grievance. It's more of just like an update. I think we need to add like a little section at the end or at the end of grievances, and it's just called spice level.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So for those who have been paying attention the season so far, we're trying to get a feel on Matty B, as is all the rest of us. So we're trying to get a feel on him in terms of how far is too far, or like how far he's going to go. Like, what's his anger level? What's his
What's his trigger points?
What's his trigger points? What's his anger levels, or like, not necessarily anger, but just like frustration level with the game and how it's going. What are things he's going to get pumped about? What are some of the comments he's going to make, or things he's going to whisper under his breath or yell full blast at times, which we've heard many things already. So we've been using the rating system of peppers, like as in, jalapeno, habanero, ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper, like so on and so forth. And if it's a very demure, very chill game, it's going to be a green pepper. I mean, it's going to be, we're at 0 spice. We're at green pepper level. You're dunking it in ranch and having a snack. So up till wasn't last night, up till Wednesday night, it has been strictly, we've been at the most habanero level. I've been waiting for his first technical game to give him a ghost pepper, but I think Wednesday's game was the first ghost pepper night. It wasn't even he didn't get a technical at all. He was hot to trot in terms, he was barking mad multiple times in that game, mostly for calls that were bullshit calls.
I was about to say mostly the referees, because one of them, and I missed what happened, and I text Dad, ask him, and he missed it too. So I'm gonna have to make a point to ask Matty B the next time I see him. But there was at one point I missed exactly what happened, but he yelled at the refs that was illegal. And I don't think it was an illegal screen, because I'm usually like on top of those. But yeah, he was definitely upset with the refs multiple times.
Full voice yelled, "That's illegal!" And I missed it too, but it was illegal. And then there, some other things that he yelled full voice this game that I normally say on the podcast, but I'll just leave that I'm not going to call him out for it. Leave it to your imagination. It was a curse word. And there were multiple stomps. There were multiple moments. During the Commerce game, though, was the first play, whiteboard, throwdown, and breakage, which he was very close to Ghost Pepper that night, but that was the only thing that he did. And I was like, okay, I'll let that slide. But Wednesday night, he was hot to trot, and mainly was directed toward the refs.
The referees, yeah.
The referees. And so.
And I did, Alex attempted, and I finished it up. I put the broken board back together on Monday, so y'all are welcome.
Yeah, I told the boys, I was like, hey, we did our best to fix the board. I started it. Jacqueline finished it. Hope it looks okay. And it's sitting in your bag. I told you, we were trying to help them out as much as possible. I mean, the one guy who's like taking notes in his spiral, I don't know his name. I probably should know it or learn it. But like he kept having to do other things because they didn't have a full manager list, like how, group, like how they normally do at home. And so they're having to do multiple other things. So he kept having to like put his spiral down and go do other things. And at one point he brought it with him and forgot, and then turned around and realized he was far from the bleacher. So I was just like, I'll get it for you. And he was like, oh, thank you. And he handed me the spiral. I was like, I put it down right there. I'm not going to look in it. It's just right here. I'm not. It's just right here. And then at the very end of the game, they were off doing all these other things. And he just puts it down, and I was like, well, I don't want him to forget it, so I put it in the bag. He's like, where's my spiral? I'm like, it's in the bag. It's in the bag. It's in the bag. I didn't take it. I didn't look in it. It's in the bag. I promise.
We
Anyway,
didn't peek. We didn't peek at it.
we didn't peek. I don't know what even if I did, I wouldn't know what the fuck you're writing. I don't know what the heck you're writing. That's beyond my knowledge. Solo.
Solo, I'm still waiting on a reply from my text like 2 days ago. Any exciting New Year's Eve plans? So I don't know what you did, but Happy New Year's, ladies. I made some Mexican mole, which I will send to y'all. #blessed.
Listen, I'll believe it when I actually see that mole in my hands. Because unless you're going to bring it and drop it off in person, I'm not sure how that's going to go through USPS. But
You got to come see us because I still have your SFA edition liquor, whiskey, or whatever it is. What
yeah,
is it? Is it whiskey or bourbon or I don't know, something?
Oh, a whiskey. Yeah, come down soon. We can go to Taco Bell and we can bitch about not getting the 35 packets of sauce that we asked for. Anyway, yeah. So all in all, got the dub. That's all that matters at the end of the day. But my biscuits were burnt. But I feel better about it. But man, they were really burnt that night. I was also hot to trot. You could say I was in ghost pepper mode. I was in ghost pepper mode.
You were the maddest I've seen you about stuff like that of the game, but you still weren't as mad as I was the 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, because one's like player safety, and then the other is just being absolutely ridiculous and for no reason. Yeah. And I think that's what pissed me off more. I'm like, you're being ridiculous for no reason. For zero reason. And you're bitching to other people that we are doing a certain thing when we weren't. I'm like, I literally was so nice to you and I asked you a simple question and you literally gave me the hand like it was 1995. I don't like that.
I agree with you.
I don't like that. I literally almost said, would God approve of that? I almost threw out like, what would Jesus do? But I didn't. I didn't. But I wanted to. Anyway. All right. So what's a word to describe this game? Smashed. I'm going to say smashed. We smashed them. Just like those shitty potatoes were smashed up. They were not good. Someone tried to make some good red potatoes and they were not good. Not good at all. Jacqueline's right. There was no cheese. There was no sour cream. I mean, there was sour cream. Let me take that back. But nothing. Anyway, but we smashed the competition. I wanted to smash that lady's face in. We smashed some meat pies. Yeah. Smashed.
My word is going to be, and this is more in reference to the referees and the staff that were not nice. Because Alex and Laura and I several games ago, well, now Alex and I are kind of trying to be on our Philip Rivers stuff, and
I'm trying so hard.
Say insults that contain no curse words whatsoever. But I kind of like using curse words in other languages, like their popular curse words. So since this was Natchitoches, and it's, no, I'm going to say merde.
Merde. Yeah.
It in French. And that's going to be for the refs and the staff that weren't kind. Merde.
Well, I love it. But yeah, I'm trying to get Jacqueline and myself on because I've been sending her all these Philip Rivers videos about, if you don't know who Philip Rivers is, he's a NFL player who just recently came out of retirement and is now quarterbacking for the Colts. Long story short, this man doesn't curse. Long story short, this man has the best trash talk in the world, but doesn't curse.
Like best one-liners with no curse words.
Dag nabbit. And I've been trying so hard at sporting events, specifically basketball, to be on the Philip Rivers plan of action. I've been doing okay, but there have been many instances where I just didn't. Nothing hurls out better than just an absolute F-bomb. But
we're doing our best over here.
We're doing our best, but T's and P's for us on trying to be better at not screaming out obscenities and just yelling out dag nabbit instead or something else that he says.
That aggravates the stew out of me.
That aggravates the stew out of me. But yeah, you have to say.
Yeah, you have to say it with a certain amount of like country bumpkin.
For sure. 100%. Darn it. Shoot. Anyway. Okay. So Jacqueline mentioned it a little bit earlier in the podcast, but tomorrow is the game in Hammond, Louisiana. We're going to play Southeastern Louisiana. It's another afternoon game at 3:30. So if you are near Hammond or anywhere near in Louisiana and you're able to attend, please do. They need all the support as possible. And then, of course, on Monday night, they are playing in Lake Charles. So this is a 4-game road right now. And we're going to do our best. It's very much like it's going to be a game time decision, most likely, because it's just going to be too difficult. But if we can make it work, we'll make it work, as you guys know. So, but if we can't, that game's at 6:30. And of course you can check and watch all this stuff on ESPN.
And tomorrow's game was a doubleheader. The ladies play at 1. So if you do make the trek to Hammond, or if you're nearby, get there at 1 and catch them both.
Good point. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, so once that game is over, the next game is on the 10th, which is the next home game where we play Houston Christian. That's a 5:00 game. I will be missing that game because I'm going out of town for that night for our friend Amanda's little birthday shindig. But Jacqueline will be there, and I'm sure Laura will be there as well. I hate missing home games. I hate missing games in general, but I hate missing home games the most. And this is like my second one, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but here we are. But anyway, so if you're able to come to that Saturday game, 5:00 is the tip off on Saturday the 10th. You bet your bottom dollar I will be watching the game in Dallas on my phone if we're not at a bar watching it. But anyway, so yeah, that's what's coming up. Thank you guys for listening to our rants and our raves, especially about this last game. I knew that was going to take a minute, and I just had to get it out. I feel like these are our therapy sessions sometimes, and I wait all week to get it out. You know, it's all pent up, and then I just let it explode. I promise I'll be better, Lord.
We're gonna give it our best effort. That's all we can promise.
I'm so sorry. My mom will also be there on Saturday the 10th. Don't forget. Knack Nanny will be there. Yes.
Tess, you can sit in Alex's spot while she's gone. I think she'll allow it.
I don't know. That might be bad juju. Hasn't happened this season, so I don't know.
I mean, we can always give it a trial run, Tess, but at halftime, if it's not looking good, you know where you got to go back to.
Out of here, boy. Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope I get out.
You mean it, but you know.
Get kick rocks, kid. That's one of my favorite disses, and I really want to keep bringing that back.
I do love Kick Rocks, and mine that I love, and I know you'll know what show this was from. Go Jump in a Volcano.
I also love telling people to get bent. Just get bent. I don't know where that came from, but I'm saying it, and it's great.
I don't know where it came from either. You remember where the volcano came from, right?
That sounds so familiar.
Okay. Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl. Okay, I was gonna say, it's either Gossip Girl or Seinfeld, and I was like, I don't remember that being in Seinfeld anywhere. So I was gonna say Gossip Girl, but I didn't want to be wrong.
What Chuck says to the older students who come back. I don't know. They might need to see my ticket.
Solid bring back, Tessa. Very good.
Good job, Tess.
I love it. Okay. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. It is 62 degrees out. Wish it was colder, but I'm sure we'll get multiple more cold snaps coming in and out because that's just how life is in Texas. And here we are. Really excited to watch the game tomorrow. I wish we could be there, but we'll have to just watch it from afar and cheer them on from afar. And as a reminder, 3:30 p.m. Hammond, Louisiana. And the girls play at 1. So
1 p.m. for the ladies.
That's it. All right. Have a wonderful night. And as always, Axe and Jacks.
With Alex and Jax.